Ooh, the H sound. The H sound. Do you know how to pronounce the H sound? It's one of the hardest sounds in the English language to pronounce. It's really hard for people all around the world, right? It's one of the hardest sounds in English, but it's actually one of the easiest sounds because it's just breathing. Listen. I'm making the H sound. I'm just breathing. So you make the H sound every day, thousands of times every day, and you didn't even know it, but you're actually making the H sound. Right? Try it. Breathe in. Perfect. That's perfect. You just made the H to sound. Okay, so in this lesson, I'm going to talk a little bit about the H sound. Hey, if you like getting pronunciation tips like this, I would be so happy if you subscribe to my channel right down there. Okay, so how would you pronounce this word? How would you pronounce it? Well, I would pronounce it hamburger. Hamburger. Okay, hamburger. All right, what about these two words? Him, her. Him, her. Can you hear the H sound at the beginning of the word? What about this? Hippo. 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 Okay, now the H sound is not optional. It's not optional. That means it's important. You need to learn this sound if you want to communicate well in English. You can't just forget about it. Some people might think, oh, the H, that's not a very important letter, so I'm just going to get rid of it. It's not very important. Well, that's not true. It is important, and I'm going to show you why it's important. Okay, look at this word here. Heinous. Heinous. Okay, the murderer committed a heinous crime. Heinous means really bad, terrible, a terrible crime. You know, just yesterday I saw on the news a man in the US murdered his wife and 2 daughters. He murdered his wife and 2 daughters. Can you believe it? That is a heinous crime. Now, the H there is very important. It's important. Heinous. Heinous. You need the H sound because if you don't have the H sound, then it becomes anus. Anus. Heinous. Anus. Do you know what the word anus means? Anus means bumhole. So a person's bumhole, that's their anus. Everybody has an anus. Okay, that means a person's bumhole. Okay, so that is a very big difference, right, between the two meanings, heinous and anus. So if you don't know how to pronounce the H, then every time you say heinous, you're going to be saying anus. Now, I have taught several French students in the past, and it's funny because French people cannot say the H sound. So they would say this, they would say anus. All right, take a look at these two words, ate, hate. Ate, hate. Can you hear the difference when I pronounce these two words? Ate, hate. Okay. Let me know down there in the comments if you can hear the difference. Ate, hate. Okay. Now, obviously, these have a very different meaning too. If you say, I hate him, I hate that guy. Okay. A French person might say, I ate that guy. I ate him, right? So there's a big difference between ate and hate. That's why the H sound is very important in English. Or take a look at these two words, arm and harm. Arm, harm. Arm, harm. Okay, now the confusing thing about the letter H is that very often it doesn't make a sound in English, or it makes a different sound. Take a look at the word Pharaoh. Pharaoh, okay, this guy here is Pharaoh. Now, this last H here doesn't make any sound. It's just Pharaoh. Pharaoh. Okay, now the first H there doesn't really make a sound either. PH in English very often is pronounced f, like F, f. Pharaoh. Okay, so here we have two H's and they don't really make the normal H sound. So it can be very confusing. Now here are some more words where H doesn't make a sound, right? Honest, honest. It's not honest, honest. It's just honest, honest. Now here, hour, hour. It's the same thing. It's not hour, hour. It's just hour, hour, right? Ghost, ghost. Are you afraid of ghosts? I am. Okay, so it can be very confusing in English. So how do you know when the H makes a sound and when it doesn't make a sound? Well, you don't know. It's impossible to know. Welcome to English. Don't you just love the English language? It's great. I'm being sarcastic. Okay, so take a look at these two words here. How do you think you pronounce this first word? Do you pronounce the H or not? What do you think? Well, the answer is no, you don't pronounce it. It's just honor, honor, not honor. Okay, honor means the opposite of shame. Honor. If someone is honored, that means they are respected. It's an honor. For example, I could say, it's an honor to be your teacher. It's such an honor to have you as my student. Thanks so much. Okay, now what about this word here? Do you think the H makes a sound or no? What do you think? The answer is yes, it does make a sound. Hone. Hone. Hone means to sharpen. To sharpen. Now, we usually use this word when we're talking about making a skill better, getting better at something, sharpening your skills. So we would say honing a skill. For example, you could say, I'm honing my English pronunciation skills. I'm honing my English pronunciation skills, right? So these kind of words can be very confusing. Don't worry too much about it. Just try to remember, sometimes the H makes a sound and sometimes it doesn't. You have to learn these words each individually. Okay, so that's why I'm making lessons like this to teach you some words that don't and some words that do have the normal H pronunciation. Now, I want to test you. What do you think of this word? Do you think it has the H sound at the beginning or not? What do you think? I'm not going to tell you. I want you to tell me if it does or not down there in the comments, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.